Joining me on the line now is the head of high performance at the Sports Institute, South African Sports Institute here in Newlands, which is of course a partner to the Confederation, and they're currently very active with keeping their members active and giving advice to members of the public in terms of how it is that they can stay active during the lockdown period. And joining me on the line now is Dr. Mike Posthumus. He is head of high performance at Sports Science. Mike, how are things going on your side?
Thank you very much, firstly, for having me on the show, JP. Things have, of course, been extremely busy. We've been involved in a process in the last 3 weeks of rapidly trying to innovate to provide offerings to both our members and to obviously make these offerings able to be delivered to the public post-corona, because we do expect the whole landscape of the industry, specifically the fitness industry, to change over the next few months. So hopefully we've been working hard to create these innovative packages that will hopefully be able to be used over the next few years. Of course, we've got various services available that we are offering online, starting from all our biokineticists doing personal one-on-one training sessions with their clients. Also, specifically, our consultants within the High Performance Center are still seeing all their athletes via either Zoom or WhatsApp, whatever's most convenient for the client. So we are continually doing these one-on-one and smaller group classes with existing clients. Then we are also doing online coaching, and we've created an online coaching platform via our app, which is powered by Trainerize.
Mike, you guys were pretty much first out of the starting blocks there after the president announced the lockdown, and Sports Science Institute pretty much the very next morning initiated an online yoga class. So you look like you were ahead of the curve on this one. Tell us a little bit about what it is that Sports Science is doing to reach its members online.
Yeah, well, we've got several offerings currently available. All our fitness trainers, or specifically our biokineticists, are continuing to serve their one-on-one clients through one-on-one consultations and training sessions done via either Zoom or WhatsApp. We're also servicing small groups in the same manner. Within the High Performance Center, we're continuing to look after our athletes via similar channels, using either Zoom or WhatsApp to be able to deliver those programs to them. Alternatively, if they don't need the direct face-to-face video instruction, we're also generating programs for them to follow, specifically home-based programs for them to follow at home, to be able to, specifically during this period, the athletes now, to work on their weaknesses, because it is an ideal period, as you said earlier, to improve your fitness now and to be able to work on these weaknesses, to come out of this period a better athlete. With regards to other offerings, sorry, I didn't answer your full question. We're also offering all our online classes either via Zoom or what you alluded to earlier, Facebook Live. We've also got 6 classes that we are offering via WhatsApp, simply through providing instructions for every single exercise part of the class.
Mike, let's just go to the high performance component now. We've been on lockdown for 14 days. If we just look at high performance in general of any sporting athlete, an athlete, whether he's going to the Olympics or going to any other form of competition, it's critical that you don't let it go or let slide backwards, obviously. My understanding is that it takes months anyway to build your fitness base before you kick into your intensity, and you guys can tell us more about this. But clearly this is a situation that any athlete right now, whether they are competing in a month's time or in 6 months' time, they should still remain active.
Yes, 100%. So it all depends on the individual sport, and specifically when the next key goal event is that they are busy working towards. For most sports, there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know exactly when they're going to play or compete again. So all we can do is actually use this period now to actually work on the foundations, as you mentioned, build a strong base. And this is applicable to most sports. and specifically during this phase to actually work on your weaknesses. Now is a perfect time. Everybody's got a lot of time with very little distractions, and there's a lot you can do at home simply using body weight to be able to still maintain and in some cases even build your strength.
So we've got a video here of some of the activities that your biokinetists are busy with. Obviously, you're sending these videos out to your high performance athletes that you've got on the program so that they know what it is that they. But let's quickly take a look at the video, because I think the question a lot of people have got is, can you remain as effective training high performance at home versus being in the gym? So let's have a look at the video and we'll see some of the exercises that people are able to do at home.
So from this one, starting completely deloaded, avoid swinging back onto the chair. So start from here, jump up, forward, up and forward.
From here, you're dropping your heel down. So send the hips backwards. As you drop the heel towards the ground, squeeze the glutes of this leg, drive back up. So if we do it from the side, so from here, feet nice and parallel, toe up, send the hips back, drive through this heel and this leg, squeeze up. Legs up on the chair, coming up, keep just the shoulders on the chair, so arms away. Drive with those heels, toes up, shifting the weight onto those hips. And from there you're driving down, squeeze your glutes, come up. From here, you're leaning over, make sure you take up the tension in those hamstrings, squeeze your glutes, come back up. Otherwise, if it's difficult to grab the bag, hold with both hands. Then again, shoulders back, shoulders down. Leaning over, take the tension in the hamstrings, squeeze your glutes, coming back up.
Right, folks, a couple of interesting videos there available that obviously you can do at home, and of course that Sports Science is busy with. And on the line with me now is Dr. Mike Posthumus, the head of high performance at the Sports Science Institute here in Newlands. Mike, looking at those videos there, those activities, are these all the kind of activities, or at least some of them, that athletes can do at home to still maintain the type of international standard that it is that you guys deliver?
Yes, certainly. So those exercises shown was actually some exercises from our cycling program, and we've got several of our international athletes, actually one athlete busy keeping fit and getting himself strong to go to the Olympic Games. So these are certainly programs followed by some of the best in our country. And the feedback from them has been unbelievable. So initially everybody thought you're going to be very limited by doing bodyweight exercises, but the feedback across the board from most of our athletes are basically that they can't believe how sore they can get simply from doing bodyweight exercises. So certainly done correctly and following the correct methodology, you can achieve a lot simply from using your body weight and odds and ends around the house, like top bags, cans of food. We're using tubes if people don't have stretch cords or bands at home. So there's a lot around the house you can use to be able to still maintain your strength.
Let's just go to some of the specifics there. We see a number of different exercises, and many people will obviously be under the impression that you can just go and do a push-up or a sit-up or a plank or a lunge or a burpee. But obviously each one of those exercises needs to be done in the right way for it to be effective.
Yes, obviously that is very important. So technique is important. So technique is important to get the most out of each exercise, but also to be able to do it safely. Then, of course, an exercise in isolation just remains an exercise. Sometimes it is the sequence in which these are delivered as well that has the most effect.
From a sports science perspective now, Mike, can people join you guys on Facebook, or how do they reach out to you, our athletes that specifically are interested now in making sure that their fitness and strength and conditioning remains at that sort of programmatic level that you're looking for? How do the athletes follow you guys?
So simply pop us an email. Obviously, contacting us via any of our social media channels will be effective. Alternatively, an email to info@sisa.com. And just put in there that you're an athlete interested in training during this period. We've got several of our consultants working hard currently, providing home-based solutions for athletes. So please reach out so that we can help you.
Mike, then let's just go one step further. Obviously, athletes, whether they are at a social level or maybe at a team perspective or even at a high performance level, their primary contact point is their coaches. What sort of advice have you got for the coaches out there, and how do the coaches reach out to you guys that we can make sure the coaches are giving their athletes the best advice?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the coaches can reach us through exactly the same channels. Best advice for the coaches would be, as I mentioned, use this period constructively. Just because you are a coach of a soccer team and you can't get out on the field doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing anything. Giving structured and periodized strength and conditioning programs, which we can certainly assist with, will help you when you return to the field, that everybody is up at a high enough level so that you can build on that and become competitive for the second half of the season.
Right, Mike, we're going to leave it at that. Thanks for joining us. I'm hoping that we can cross to you on a more regular basis. I think at this time, many of the members of the public out there, many of the athletes out there are just trying to work out how it is that they must program or create their programs at home. Up until now, we've seen members of the public just running around the garden or pushing cars around and so on. And I think we probably need to get a little bit more sports specific, and we're looking forward to catching up with you so that we can get the more specific programs, home-based programs, for the athletes to work on.
No, we would love to be back. Thank you very much for having me, JP.
Right, folks, so of course Dr. Mike Posthumus. He is the head of high performance at Sports Science Institute. It's great chatting with him. We're all trying to work out how it is that we must be training at home. Our athletes want to know how to train at home. Our coaches need to know how it is that they reach out to their athletes to train at home. And all of this critically important because of the lockdown period, and we're using sport to make sure that we comply with the government regulations of staying in isolation. So very important that we are staying behind closed doors, staying isolated, and making sure that we do everything in our power to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. So we'll be reaching out to our partners to see how it is that they support during that process. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Melvin Edwards. He is the president of Western Cape Gymnastics, and we still look forward to crossing to Elton Davids from Cape Town, as well as Lorenzo Arendse from the Cape Winelands. We'll be back in a sec.